Bogdan here. Today I'm going to walk you through a real estate transaction process and explain who's involved along the way. Buying or selling your home can feel like a big puzzle, but once you know all the players involved and their roles, it starts to make a little more sense. Whether you're a buyer or a seller or just curious, this video will help you understand who does what and what each role is and why they're so important. So let's get started. First up, we have the buyers. They're the ones that are looking to purchase a home, and their goal is to find a property at the right price. But they don't do it alone. They usually work with someone called a buyer's agent, and that is someone like me. For example, a buyer's broker helps them search for homes, schedule showings, negotiate offers, and guide them through paperwork. Think of us as a buyer's advocate, making sure that they get the best deal and avoid any pitfalls. On the other side, we have the sellers. Now, their goal is to sell their home for the best possible price, typically working with the listing agent, again, someone like me, but representing the seller this time. The listing agent markets the property, stages for showing, negotiates with buyers, and manages the wholesale process. We're here to make sure that the seller home stands out and that they get top dollar. Now, most home buyers need financing to purchase a home, which brings us to the loan officer. The loan officer works with the buyer to secure a mortgage. They evaluate the buyer's financial situation, help them choose the right product, and then guide them through the application process. Without a loan officer, many buyers wouldn't be able to make their dream of home ownership a reality. Next, let's talk about escrow. Escrow is like the referee in the transaction. They're neutral and impartial. The escrow company holds on to important documents and funds, like the buyer's earnest money, until the buyer and the seller have met all their obligations. Once everything is in order, they release the funds and documents to complete the sale. It's in their job to make sure that the transaction is fair and follows the rules. Now, closely tied to escrow is the title company. Their role is to ensure that the property's title is clear, meaning that there are no legal issues like liens or ownership disputes, and that could cause problems a little bit later. They research the property's history, confirm who owns it, issue title insurance, and protect the buyer from any surprises. Think of them as the detective in the real estate world. Next, we have a transaction coordinator. Now, you may not hear about them, but they are becoming more and more common, and for good reason. They're the organizers behind the scenes, managing paperwork, tracking deadline, and making sure that nothing falls through the cracks. Whether it's ensuring an inspection is scheduled or that documents are signed, they keep the process moving smoothly. Now we move on to inspectors. Let's talk about who does the inspections. These are the pros who come in and check the property for any issues, like structural problems, pest infestations, or faulty wiring. Their reports give the buyers confidence to move forward and negotiate repairs. For the sellers, and the pre-listing inspection can help them identify issues early and avoid surprises later. Next up, we have appraisers. They are a neutral third party, and they are brought in by the banks to determine the property's market value. Now, this is crucial both for the buyer and the lender, because the lender won't approve the loan for more than what the home is worth. Appraisers look at the home's condition, location, and comparable sales for a fair price. If the appraiser comes in lower than the offer, it can lead to renegotiations or even a cancellation of the deal. Next up, we have attorneys. Sometimes attorneys are involved in real estate transactions. They review contracts, ensure that everything complies with laws, and sometimes even attend closing. Now, they can be there because of a divorce or if a property is intestate, where you're having to deal with a lot of heirs. I have worked with attorneys on transactions before, and I have found them to be extremely helpful when they are needed. Finally, depending on the transaction, there might be a few other folks involved. For example, surveyors. They measure the property's boundaries and confirm the land size and shape. Another person that could be involved is a home warranty provider. They offer plans to cover repairs after closing, giving the buyers extra protection. Finally, there are notaries, but these are usually covered in title and escrow, but in case they're ever needed for something special, they are available to help finalize documents and secure signatures. And so there you have it. Some of the key players in a real estate transaction and what they do, from the buyers to the sellers to the agents to the loan officers to escrow, title, transaction coordinators, inspectors, attorneys, and everybody else that could possibly be involved. Each person has a specific role, and it's extremely important that you work with somebody that has the ability to track and coordinate all of this and understand everyone's roles, responsibilities for your protection. And again, as a quick heads up, this video is for educational purposes only, and this isn't a substitute for professional advice. Each real estate transaction is unique, and there are a lot of variables, far too many to ever mention in one single video. And though I am a real estate broker, I'm not your real estate broker yet. So for your specific situation, consult a qualified real estate professional or attorney, or if you're not working with anybody, my contact information is in the description below.